Anne Frank's diary is a window into history. It allows us to see the world through the eyes of a young girl. Anne's words are powerful. They remind us of the horrors of the Holocaust, but they also celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. Anne's story is a story of hope and courage in the face of unimaginable adversity. Before the darkness, there was light. Before the secret annex, there was a childhood. Anne's early years in Amsterdam were filled with simple joys. She played with friends, went to school, and dreamed big dreams. These precious moments of normalcy would soon be lost, but they would forever be etched in Anne's memory. Anne's diary offers glimpses of this lost world. She writes about her friends, her family, and her everyday life. These entries are a poignant reminder of all that was stolen from Anne and countless others during the Holocaust. They are a testament to the enduring power of childhood innocence. In the years since its publication, Anne's diary has touched the hearts of millions. It has been translated into over 70 languages. It has been adapted for stage and screen. Anne's story continues to resonate with people of all ages and backgrounds. Her words are a timeless reminder of the importance of tolerance, compassion, and hope. Amsterdam in the 1930s was a city of contrasts. On the surface, it was a place of tolerance and diversity. The Netherlands had a long history of welcoming refugees. Amsterdam was a melting pot of cultures and religions. But beneath this veneer of acceptance, a darkness was growing. The rise of Nazism in Germany cast a long shadow over Europe. Anti-Semitism was on the rise. Jewish businesses were boycotted. Synagogues were vandalized. The Jewish community in Amsterdam watched with growing fear as the situation in Germany deteriorated. Many feared that the Nazi threat would eventually reach their doorstep. The Dutch government tried to maintain a policy of neutrality. They hoped to avoid being drawn into another European war. But the threat of Nazi aggression loomed large. The situation for Jews in Amsterdam became increasingly precarious. Despite the growing tension, life went on. Children still played in the streets, families gathered for meals, people held on to hope that the storm would pass. But the world was on the brink of a catastrophe that would forever change the course of history. The Frank family was among the many Jewish families who sought refuge in Amsterdam. They fled their native Germany in 1933. Otto Frank, Anne's father, had built a successful business in Germany, but the rise of Nazism made it impossible for him to stay. He knew that he had to protect his family. The Franks were not alone. Thousands of Jews fled Germany in the 1930s. They hoped to find safety and a new life in the Netherlands. The Franks settled in Amsterdam. They tried to rebuild their lives. Otto found work at a company that made pectin, a gelling agent used in jam. Life in Amsterdam was not easy for the Franks. They were strangers in a new land. They had to learn a new language and adapt to a new culture. But they were grateful for the opportunity to live in freedom. They were determined to make the best of their situation. Anne and her older sister Margot adapted quickly to their new surroundings. They attended a Montessori school. They made new friends. For a time it seemed as though the Franks had found a safe haven from the storm that was engulfing Europe. In the summer of 1934, Anne Frank and her friends gathered for a tea party. It was a simple affair. The girls were around 5 years old. They brought their dolls. They sipped on pretend tea. They giggled and played, lost in their own world of imagination. The tea party took place at the home of Gabrielle Kahn, one of Anne's friends. Gabrielle lived in a spacious apartment on Merwedeplein, a tree-lined square in Amsterdam. The girls played in Gabrielle's room, surrounded by dolls, toys, and the sounds of their own laughter. Anne loved her dolls. She had a whole collection of them. She gave them names and personalities. She would spend hours playing with them, creating elaborate stories and adventures. To Anne, her dolls were more than just toys. They were her companions, her confidants. The tea party was a typical childhood event. It was a time for the girls to socialize, to use their imaginations, and to simply enjoy being children. They were oblivious to the political turmoil that was brewing in the world around them. They were innocent and carefree. Each girl brought her favorite doll to the tea party. Anne brought her beloved Moortje, a black doll that had been a gift from her grandmother. Moortje was Anne's constant companion. She took her everywhere, The other girls brought their own cherished dolls. Each doll was unique, just like its owner. As they sipped their imaginary tea, the girls chatted about their dolls. They gave them voices and personalities. They created elaborate stories about their lives and adventures. The dolls became characters in their own right, acting out the girls' dreams and fantasies. The girls' imaginations knew no bounds. They transformed Gabrielle's room into a magical kingdom. The dolls were princesses and fairies, adventurers and explorers. Their tea party became a grand ball, a daring expedition, a journey into the unknown. For Anne, these moments of imaginative play were precious. They allowed her to escape from the realities of her world. They gave her a sense of control in a world that often felt chaotic and unpredictable. In the world of her dolls, anything was possible. Section 6. The Gathering Storm. While Anne and her friends played, the world outside grew darker. The Nazi Party was gaining power in Germany. Anti-Semitism was on the rise. The threat of war loomed over Europe. The Franks watched these developments with growing concern. They knew that their time in Amsterdam might be limited. Otto Frank began to make plans for the possibility that they might have to go into hiding. The Jewish community in Amsterdam was divided on how to respond to the Nazi threat. Some believed that the Nazis would never invade the Netherlands. Others felt that it was only a matter of time before the Nazis came for them. The Frank family was torn. They wanted to believe that they would be safe in Amsterdam. But they also knew that they couldn't ignore the danger. They had to be prepared for the worst. Section 7. A world turned upside down. In 1940, the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. Amsterdam was occupied. The lives of Anne Frank and her family were changed forever. The Nazis imposed harsh restrictions on Jews. They were forced to wear yellow stars. They were banned from public places. They were no longer allowed to own businesses. The Franks, like many other Jewish families, went into hiding. They moved into a secret annex behind Otto Frank's business. They lived in constant fear of being discovered. Anne kept a diary during her time in hiding. She wrote about her fears, her hopes, and her dreams. The Tea Party in 1934 must have seemed like a distant memory to Anne as she endured the horrors of the Holocaust. The carefree innocence of her childhood was gone, replaced by the harsh realities of war and persecution. The other girls at the Tea Party, Ellen Weinberger and Gabrielle Kahn, also suffered under the Nazi occupation. Their fates, like the fates of millions of Jews during the Holocaust, are a stark reminder of the human cost of hatred and intolerance. Section 8. Anne's Legacy. Anne Frank died in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp in 1945. She was just 15 years old. Her diary, which was recovered after the war, has become one of the most widely read books in the world. Anne's story is a story of hope and resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. Her words have touched the hearts of millions. They serve as a reminder of the importance of tolerance, compassion, and the human spirit. Anne's diary is a testament to the power of words. Even in the darkest of times, Anne found solace in writing. Her words continue to inspire and to remind us of the importance of fighting for justice and equality. The Tea Party in 1934, though a small moment in Anne's short life, represents a time of innocence and joy that was brutally cut short by the Holocaust. It serves as a poignant reminder of all that was lost during that dark chapter in human history. Section 9. Remembering Innocence. Anne Frank's story is a story that needs to be told and retold. It is a story that has the power to educate, to inspire, and to remind us of the importance of protecting the most vulnerable among us. The Tea Party in 1934, though a small moment in time, reminds us of the preciousness of childhood innocence. It reminds us of the importance of creating a world where all children can live in peace and security as we remember Anne Frank and the millions of others who perished in the Holocaust. Let us also remember the importance of fighting against all forms of hatred and discrimination. Let us honor their memory by creating a world where such atrocities are never repeated. Anne Frank's story is a story that belongs to all of us. It is a story that has the power to change the world. Let us never forget her message of hope and humanity.